Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where and when you're listening to this. This is Coffee with Kevin, and this is my coffee. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Is it good? Is it good? I had a client yesterday ask me what was in my coffee. She sees me here, and I'm always going, this is good. There's nothing special. I just love coffee. I have my coffee sweetened with Splenda and lightened with cream. Well, actually, powdered creamer, not necessarily creamer, but I just love it. Mm. So I hope you're enjoying your coffee, your tea, your juice, whatever it is that you're sharing with me this morning to you for this day. M&Ms. In the networking group I belong to, I brought in a bunch of M&Ms, and I said, "Do you know what M&M means?" And they said, "No." I said, "It means making money. That's what we're all here for." That's not what we are all here for, but some of us are business owners, entrepreneurs, and stuff like that. And of course, we want to make money. And even if you're not a business owner, entrepreneur, I'm sure you want to make money. This is the other side. I'm afraid of what might happen if I relax. I'm afraid of what might. You're saying you're looking at this guy with a cup of coffee, and it sounds like he's got some good energy. I don't have as much energy as I could, and I'm going to ramp it up for this one because today we're talking about something that's really cool. Today it's March 18th. We're mid-March already. Holy mackerels! This year is moving fast. We're mid-March. Now, what is today on March 18th? Believe it or not, today is Awkward Moments Day. Today's a day to have an awkward moment. And you know what? I might just have an awkward moment today. You never know with me. But I I love those awkward moments where all of a sudden people stop talking and start looking. And it's like, okay, what's happening? Awkward moments. It's great. It's a great thing. It's a really good thing. All right. Last Friday, by the way, I was going to get online last Friday only because it was a special day. Anyone know what day it was last Friday? Let's see who we have in chat here. Oh, good morning, Brenda. My lovely wife is on. Last Friday was Pi Day Friday. Yes, it was. Pi, P-I, was 314. And which is 3.14 is the start of pi. Pi goes on forever, but not many people know what pi is. It's a ratio of the circumference to the diameter of a circle, but it's used in so many other things. It's this magic number that is used in math and measuring all sorts of things. It's an incredible thing. I kind of forgot a lot about it, but I learned it in school. And the fact is that somebody came up with it. Somebody came up with it hundreds and hundreds of years ago. And yeah, an interesting thing on Pi Day Friday, which is 314. It's also the anniversary of Albert Einstein. Not anniversary, the birthday of Albert Einstein. And I'm sure Albert Einstein became aware at some point in his life that March 13th, 314 was pi. Because as a scientist, as a physicist, I'm sure he used pi in a lot of different things. So, interesting stuff, or maybe not so interesting about last Friday. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about today, the power of our thoughts. Now, I was just having an interview yesterday for a chapter in a book that I'll be, not the book, but I'm going to write the chapter soon, and the book will be released a little later this year. But we were talking about something called quantum healing. In quantum healing, now, I just talked about Albert Einstein, who was one of the early ones at the start of quantum physics. Now, quantum healing isn't quite that, but quantum healing has to do when a shift takes place in our mind or something like that, and it actually heals something. And a lot of the things we have, or especially the problems in our mental emotional issues, a lot of that deals with the past. And if you know anything about the way quantum scientists look at time, there's no such thing as time. Everything's happening in the present at the same time as the past, at the same time as the future. It's something that if you spent any time to think about it, it just blows your mind. I won't get into that, but a lot of the healing I do ends up, it's because I change things in the way people look at the past, the way they perceive the events in their past. And once that does that, it actually changes the way you feel in the present. And then it changes what's going to happen in your future. Jamie, welcome. I don't know if this is the first time you've been on Coffee with Kevin, but welcome. It's good to see you here. I'm hoping you are holding your coffee as well. So quantum healing has to do with that, but a lot of things has to do with the way we think. And that's what I'm going to talk about, the power of our thoughts today. And this is something I feel strongly about. I tell everyone I can. I tell all my clients, all my students, and just about everyone else. It's about the way you think. And we have two opposite ways that we can think. We can think negatively, which means we're thinking about the things that can go wrong or the things that have gone wrong, and we're not thinking anything that's very positive for us. Yes, and we can think positively, which means we're thinking about the actual positive things that we think are going to happen for us, that we want to happen for us, or the positive things that we have had happen for us. And positive comes in a lot of ways. It can be great gratitude. I teach a lot about gratitude. If you're thinking with a lot of gratitude and you're looking and say, wow, I am so blessed. I have a window right out in back of me, and there's a big plant on it. And every single day, there's at least one beautiful red flower. I think my wife will correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's a hibiscus or something about biscuits. And and I get the chance to actually just look out every day and see these gorgeous red flowers. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the fact I have a wonderful office in my home that when we moved here, we didn't know whether we'd have that. I might be working out of the dining room or the living room. I'm grateful for the fact I have an office to bring clients to, and I'm grateful for a lot of things. I'm grateful when I walk outside. Thank you. It is a hibiscus. I'm grateful when I walk outside and I smell the clean, fresh air. That it really makes me feel so good. I'm grateful for God's gifts, all of God's gifts. Anyway, you can think positive or you can think negative, and both have, good morning, Marie. Oh boy, we got a great crowd. And both have effects on us. Now, I'm going to look at my first quote this morning. And I saw this quote and I said, oh, I just got to use this. Okay. Once you replace negative thoughts with positive ones, you will have positive results. This is from Willie Nelson, that reservoir of wisdom for this century. I'm a big fan of Willie Nelson. I've seen him several times. I like his music. I like his guitar. And I didn't know he was so wise. I like this. Once you replace negative thoughts with positive ones, you will have positive results. Almost word for word, that's what I tell my clients. I said, you have to take your negative thoughts and what's the opposite of that, and start replacing those negative thoughts with the positive ones. So once you can do that, and I'll tell you, as long as I'll go with a percentage, as long as more than 50% of your thoughts are positive, because we can't get the negatives out altogether. Well, we may never be able to get the negatives out altogether. Or if we can for a short time, but not permanently. And then we just need to keep on working on it. But once we get most of them out, things start to change in our life. Things start to change because we're looking at things more positively. And when we look at things more positively, we see more positive things. And we experience more positive things. And we get more positive results. Believe me, it's as simple as that. And this thing called quantum actually, our thoughts affect what's happening around us and the people around us. When we are more positive, the people around us are more positive, and they have more positive things happening for them. It sounds simple, but that's it. And I will tell you, when you're around a negative person, a highly negative person, is it hard to stay positive? It sure can be. It sure can be. So you want to stay around positive people. And so when you're negative, it's hard for the people around you to stay positive. They become negative, just like you become negative when you're around a negative person too long. All right. Oh, for those of you that just joined, today is National Awkward Moments Day. So I want you all to look for a time you can cause an awkward moment in your daily life and with your people around you. That's pretty cool. Okay, our next words of wisdom, is the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, and therefore guard accordingly, and take that you entertain no notions unsuitable to virtue and to reasonable nature. It's a long one. I'm sorry. I'm reading it as it's scrolling across my window, just as you're reading it. So this is Marcus Aurelius. This goes back, thousands of years. And he came up with this. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. And he's saying, therefore, don't think any negative thoughts or any bad thoughts, or in his case, any immoral thoughts. If you can keep from thinking those, you can be happy. Now, you're probably saying, well, Kevin, how can I keep these thoughts from coming into my head? Well, it's not easy to keep the thoughts from coming into your head. That takes a little bit of time. But it's easy to become aware of the thoughts when they're there and then shift. And then say, okay, what's the opposite of this? Or just think of something happy for you. Think of someone in your life that makes you happy. Okay. Next, the mind is everything. Of course, that's my life. The mind is everything. It actually controls the body, so it is everything. What you think, you become. Oh, my goodness. What you think, you become. This is said in so many ways from so many different people, but this is Buddha. This goes back thousands of years. This goes back thousands and thousands of years, and it's also biblical. It's also in the Old Testament, which goes back thousands of years. Not those exact words, but something very similar. What you think, you become. I grew up listening to those words. Earl Nightingale used to say that all the time. What you think, you become. James Allen, the father of modern psychiatry, he said, what you think, you become. So what does that mean? That means if you're thinking negative thoughts, you become negative. If you're thinking positive thoughts, you become positive. That's a simplified way. But the things you think about that you want to do, If you think about that enough, you'll actually do them. Now, here's the problem. If we're filling our minds with worry all the time, if we're filled with anxiety and worry, then we start to become what we're worried about. And again, it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. I'm going to check on the chat again. I missed several. Joan is a person that I know and love. She's a wonderful person, and she is the epitome of positive thinking. And when it's in the moments where it's the hardest for what Joan has gone through, and Brenda's the same way, that I know. I don't know too much about some of the others, but Brenda's gone through a lot of things too. And when you can come out of those things, those adversities in your life, those real tragedies in your life, and think positive, that's incredible. That's incredible. All right. So Buddha gave us some wisdom a long time ago that many people through the ages have taken heed of. And let's take heed of this. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. It's simple as that. This is something different. Positive thinking is more than just a tagline. It changes the way we behave. And I firmly believe that when I'm positive, it not only makes me a better person, but it also makes those around me better. I'd have to look that up. I think I ran out of text in there. Harvey Mackay. That's who said that. And I should have remembered that. Harvey Mackay wrote Swimming with the Sharks. It's a great business book. Had a big impact on me early in my business, and it still does. And this is a really positive, not positive, but it sounds like a personal thing. Because he says the positive thing not only makes him better. He didn't say makes him feel better. He says it makes him better. And also makes those around me better. Now, I mentioned that earlier. How does that do that? This is that quantum thing. When you are exuding positivity from you, when you're not the negative Nilly and not complaining and not this and that, but you're positive. And people who are very positive support people. They bring them up. They help bring them to a positive way. But just being positive actually helps the people around you to be able to be positive as well. It's just wonderful stuff. And the last one, if you have good thoughts, they will shine out of your face like sunbeams. I love this. And you will always look lovely. I don't know who Roald Dahl is. I didn't look it up, but I love this quote. Because when you're thinking wonderful, positive thoughts, it's showing on you. It's showing on you. And then when people look at you and interact with you, they are feeling good. He doesn't say that here. He says you will always look lovely. When you're thinking positive, it can't be any other way. It cannot be any other way. So I hope you get from this that this is the way you want to be. And I think we all want to be this way. It's just harder for some of us. So the idea for you, I'll leave you with this. Just become more aware of the way you're thinking. Become more aware of when something triggers you and makes you start feeling negative and start thinking negative. I have a friend who told me this a long time ago, and it's perfect. He says, when someone says something or does something that bothers me, instead of looking at them, I look inside. Why does it bother me? That means when she's always aware when something's bothering her. And you should be always aware when something's bothering you. And at that moment, you can ask, why does it bother me? But then you can say, what would I rather think? What would I rather feel? And start thinking thoughts, more positive thoughts. And I can say, think of the person in your life that always makes you smile. If you can go to that person in your life that always makes you smile, in that moment, you will start smiling. You will start thinking positive. And that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. Okay, this has been fun. This has been a passionate subject of mine. I don't know if you can tell, but that, and of course, coffee. Mm. This has been a passionate subject of mine. If I could help everybody do this, and if I could help myself, we're not perfect. This happens to all of us when we start feeling negative, start thinking negative, and sometimes we get trapped in it. This happens to all of us. We're human. And the thing is, can we get ourselves to change quickly when we realize that it's happened? That's what you want to strive for. Don't look and say, I'm always thinking negative. Start saying, when I think negative, I'm going to now start to see how I can start to think positive and go with that. Have a great day. Have a great week. And remember, it's not that I'm wishing you that. It's in your power. You have the choice to make it a great day. Make it a great week. See you all next week.